Hi, hello. I'm Adrian Reuter, visiting from Mexico. I'm a Mexican raptor biologist and falconer for over 40 years now, mostly specializing in small falcons. And for the past probably 20 years, flying aplomado falcons, merlins, bat falcons, and other species. So for me being here, it's super exciting. I'm very, very happy. It's a place where you can find a lot of falconry-related stuff, a lot of the materials, the equipment, the books that you have heard about, read about, but never get to see firsthand. So it's very, very exciting to be here for me, and also to be at the Peregrine Fund's facilities here in Boise, Idaho, where a lot of the conservation work is being led from. For species not only from North America, but also from other parts of the world, the Neotropics, Africa, Asia, etc. So as a raptor biologist, it's also another important component that makes this trip, this visit so exciting. And being interested particularly in small falcons and having flown merlins for the past couple of decades, I was very interested to see which books were in the archives that I have heard about, that I hadn't seen. And it was very, very nice to see some of the books that were published perhaps 40 years ago, or around 40 years ago, such as this well-known book by John Loft, that I still haven't written because I've always seen it in pictures, in media for, social media for, etc., but I have never had it in my hands. So maybe I'll just spend a few hours browsing through it while I'm here. But also some of the newer books that have been published on merlins. For example, The Complete Merlin, The Passage Merlin by Jeremy Bradshaw, a good friend, and a really excellent book on how to train these birds. It takes you by the hand and has a lot of very useful information. I have read it several times, and I think it's a fantastic book. And this very recent publication, The Magical Merlins, which is absolutely great, by Bruce Hack, and has a ton of scientific information that I hadn't seen elsewhere at all. No, I'm very, very, very interesting, also suggested reading. It was also very good to see some books that have been published even in my own country, such as this one that was published by a friend from Mexico, Manual Básico de Cetrería, and other Spanish books, such as the Manual Ético de Cetrería. This was published by Javier Ceballos in Spain, and is a basic reading for everybody who wants to get into falconry or who has been a falconer for a while. I think it has a lot of very useful content and the basic things that we all should put into practice as ethical falconers. But there are not only books, and very interesting ones, like, for example, another books on merlins that I didn't even know it existed, that is the first time I see here at the archives, but also equipment. And for me, it's a honor and a privilege to hold in my hand one of late Pete Watzke Merlin hoods, just to see the craftsmanship, the way it has been sewn is amazing. Some of the most magnificent hoods for merlins that I've seen. I was lucky to meet him when he was alive. Great person, and an absolutely fantastic hood he made. As most of you might know, merlins are very small falcons, so not every hood works for merlins. They must be very lightweight, very comfortable, and the manufacturer has to be very precise. And that's something that you can see in these hoods by Pete Watzke, one of the master hood makers that really did this magnificent work. So I'm very, very happy to be here. It's very exciting for me. As said, I would invite everybody who's interested on raptor conservation, on falconry, on raptor-related art, to visit the archives. There are not only books and hoods, there are sculptures, paintings, and a lot of other things that are super interesting and great, that are really worth a visit. And also, not only to visit the archives, if you have something that you could donate to this cadre of knowledge, materials, books, and everything related to falconry from your own country, from your own region, I would also suggest you do so. It's great to find so much stuff from all over the world here, but my guess is that most of it comes from donations from people who consider that these things could be shared with a wider group of people, and I think this is a perfect place to keep them for the future and share it in perpetuity for the future generations of falconers. So I'm grateful to be here and wanted to share with you this experience, which is very enriching.